Hi, it's Natasha.
And Khalil.
And we are the co-hosts of
WokeNFree.
Thank you for tuning in to our 228th episode of WokeNFree. If you've been tuning in every week for WokeNFree Wednesday, you know that WokeNFree is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We talk about everything and anything important to us, you, the world, and nothing is off the table. This week, we are asking a really interesting question, which is, what is toxic positivity? But before we dive deep into the subject, because I know KJ can't wait for what we're going to discuss, a couple of things to cover. First, have you downloaded the episode on WokeNFree.com through the Podbean app? If not, please do that ASAP. And for whatever reason, if you for some cannot download new apps on whatever device you catch podcasts on, then please, we just ask that you go to WokeNFree.com, you go into the listen tab, and then you pick your platform of choice where you're going to follow and subscribe to the show at. So for instance, we love our fans and our family on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play. Of course, those who subscribe to the YouTube channel, please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify. It's a WokeNFree world, guys. So just make sure you support. Also on WokeNFree.com, you'll be able to subscribe to and follow the show through the Podbean app. So if you haven't already done that, please do if you can. On social, you can always find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn at WokeNFree. And then, of course, if you have 90 seconds, it's COVID-19. You have 90 seconds. You have more than 90 seconds. Please give us a holler and review the show. Again, go to the listen tab on WokeNFree.com. Pick your platform of choice where you want to review us at. And we appreciate the 5 stars in advance. Thank you, guys. Kicking it back to you, Khalil.
Thank you. Before we start the conversation, we like to share a little bit about ourselves. This week we're asking, would you rather have annoying friends who are loyal or cool friends that are shady?
Oh, that's fascinating. Kind of path of least resistance, or the inverse of that. I guess I would go with annoying friends who are loyal, just because I find that no matter what in life, it's really hard to avoid annoyance, but loyalty is hard to come by. So when you can get people who are true, ride or die with you, you should always take that, even if it comes with a little bit of uncomfortability. How about you?
Yeah, I agree. I'll just take the annoying friends, because them shady friends, they can't be trusted, and I'd rather have friends that I could rely on, and you know, I don't get annoyed easily, so that's easy for me to deal with these annoying friends. I probably figure out what about them annoys me, and I can just maybe get them to stop, or I could just ignore it. So for me, the annoying friends, that's not a big deal. But friends that are shady, I don't know. That's like having backstabbers in your life. That's not cool.
Gotcha.
That's kind of like having people that have like a toxic positivity about them as well. But what is actually toxic positivity? Great
transition. So on Very Well Mind, toxic positivity is defined as the belief that no matter how dire or difficult a situation is, people should maintain a positive mindset. So it's a good vibes only approach to life. And while there are benefits to being an optimist and engaging in positive thinking, toxic positivity instead rejects difficult emotions in favor of cheerful, often falsely positive facade. Now, personally, I really struggle with this whole concept, but, you know, just to go on, Very Well Mind says that toxic positivity takes positive thinking to an overgeneralized extreme. This attitude doesn't just stress the importance of optimism, but it minimizes and denies any trace of human emotions that aren't strictly happy or positive. And so there are a couple examples where they refer to help kind of people contextualize this. One, when something bad happens, such as losing your job, or people tell you just to stay positive or look on the bright side, suspect. After experiencing some type of loss, people tell you that everything happens for a reason, suspect. And when you express disappointment or sadness, someone tells you that happiness is a choice, suspect. And so I say suspect over and over again because I don't think that those statements in and of itself are oppressive or wrongful, but I do think that wallowing in negativity and sorrow has never resulted, for me at least, or anyone that I follow and admire, in a trajectory of positivity. But I understand where they're coming from, but I also think this is written by someone who's probably always seeing the bad side. the cup is half empty in life, but that's my.
But the phrase "everything happens for a reason," that's kind of funny because I mean, so did it happen for a bad reason? It's like, I don't know if that's, to me, that phrase is, I used to hear that a lot, like when I was younger, but yeah, that phrase is a throwaway phrase. That doesn't really mean much. Yeah. It's just saying, yeah, good, it happened, but that doesn't help anybody really, because it's almost like saying, you know, water is wet. That's good. It's a fact, right? But it doesn't really change the matter. So I could kind of see where that could get annoying. You know, if someone just keeps telling you that when a situation occurs, it's just like, oh, you know, everything happens for a reason. Yeah. And then it's a true
statement, though. Everything does happen for a reason, but it might not be appropriate. So they should tell you that the sun
gives off heat, right? You know,
well, yeah, it could be not relevant depending upon who you're saying that to or what you're saying.
It doesn't mean anything. Because it's not like someone saying, well, at least I know there's a reason this happened. There's like some grand scheme for this. I mean, I don't know. Unless you could, so you'd have to say, all right, this happened because this is going to cause like better things for somebody else's life. I mean, if you could try to get more intricate, but just say everything happens for a reason. It has to have a tethering. It's so general that it's not really helpful for anybody.
Okay, so then when you start to think about this concept, then how do you feel about toxic positivity?
For me, I'm very okay with it, actually. Like, I could be around a toxic, positive person because that doesn't do anything to me. That just makes me even better. Yeah. Like, I guess, I don't know if it's the Leo in me, but I like that, to be honest. Like, I can hear all that stuff. That person who says everything happens for a reason, that's funny. I could just make jokes out of that. But like, yeah, sure they do. Like, I would say exactly what I just said to you previously. But I'd rather have somebody, you know, that's positive than someone just telling me all the ways that I can fail and, oh, you know, bad things happen for everybody, and someone who's just like stuck on the negative side of things. I think I much prefer this toxic positive person. Like, I'll go for that. That's not hurting me. It's not. Yeah. That's fine. They can do whatever they want. And you don't feel like it minimizes
your pain or your suffering.
And if they do, that's on them. I mean, they could just.
You wouldn't take offense to it.
No, I can't even be offended by it, to be honest, because that's just how they see the situation. I would see it for what it is. I'm not going to say, oh, look at you. You're not really being like, well, I guess I don't get so emotional about the thing and say, man, you don't care about my emotions and how I feel. You can't see my side of the coin. I wouldn't think about it like that. I think about it like, all right, you're just really a happy person. I mean, you might not be able to give advice on this, but I'm not going to be hurt over it. I can just leave that subject alone and move on to the next thing.
Fair enough. So I personally I come from a perspective where I'm totally over and tired of hearing people never see and take accountability for their actions on things and who would prefer negativity over positivity. So to your point, I actually, would prefer someone to be outrageously positive because it helps me keep my own negativity in check, because we can all go there. We all can easily see the cup is half empty. We can always see the world is ending. Everything's gone to, you know, beep, 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 right? And at the end of the day, happiness is a choice. At the end of the day, sadness and misery is a choice. So someone who's choosing to be joyful, someone who's choosing to share that joy and help other people see that joy, I don't see that as a negative thing. I see that as someone, that's their approach to life. Now, I don't agree with minimizing someone else's pain. And to your point, if someone is being super sad and the only thing that they can respond with is positivity and they aren't relating to what's being said to them, I could see how that could be problematic, but I don't think I don't know if I personally have experienced that much toxic positivity. And I think that I would actually be interested in experiencing it based on this conversation and based on learning a little bit more about it. And, you know, KJ feels, I think, a little certain kind of way about this as well. So with that, how would you say toxic positivity has impacted your life to date?
I really wish it did impact my life, but I've never encountered anybody like that in my life. I've only heard about it in media. So it's like an ancient tale from times of past or of times of yonder.
Wonderful.
I can't.
Wonderful.
Because I have no relation to this. It doesn't, I don't even understand. I don't understand it, to be honest. This is like a newfound thing to me. Like, it's very interesting. But it's funny. I've never had anybody who's been that so positive in my life anyway. Usually people have mostly, like, they have negative things to say when stuff comes up. It's not just like, they shower me in this positivity.
Exactly.
But to say, I mean, like I said, I wish I had it.
Company
cool.
not excluded, of course.
What? Well, I mean, we're all changing for the better, so we're learning how to like handle life better. But
yeah.
Either way, I've never experienced something I would say it's toxic, like something that I didn't want. So even when I do get positivity, I never would say, oh man,
you're rejecting
this person is like, they're just minimizing who I am. Like, I think it's great what they're saying. I like it.
That's hilarious.
I'm not taking it as a negative, so I like it because it just seems like someone's like, you're so positive that you're negative, but I don't know. I've never seen that happen mathematically. Something be so positive that it becomes negative.
Like, or it becomes.
I don't know. Like it's a weird concept for me.
I agree. That's why I wanted us to talk about it on the show because ultimately I too have never experienced this. I've seen it written about, right? Obviously we reference a link. You can access our links on WokeNFree.com. But what I would say I have experienced is someone not having empathy for my pain. I've had people compare their pain to my pain. I've had people dismiss my feelings or refuse to help me or gaslight me. And those are things that I would say are far more painful and discomforting to deal with than this theory of toxic positivity. However, if you are listening and you have dealt with toxic positivity, we want to hear your story. Please definitely write in the comments. Definitely go to the contact us page on WokeNFree.com to share your story with us. We would be interested to hear if this is something you're dealing with or have been a purporter of this. Either way, let us know. But with that, I think
so. It's comparing the pain to yours. That's not a form of toxic positivity, I guess.
No, because remember, it would still be negative, right? It'd be like, well, I suffered more, and I did this, and I did, that. So I find that that's minimizing in the way that
if someone said they suffered the same as you, though, isn't that?
So that's relatability, and that doesn't offend me. But that might offend some. The problem is we live in a super hypersensitive world, right? Where ultimately a lot of people are triggered by different things. And I mean, that's a reality of life. I think more so people are just more vocal about it, but I don't think that is change over the millennia.
That's true.
But we're just more like, hey, that hurt our feelings, right? And so people speak up on it. But I would say relating to someone on pain and sharing pain is as a point of building bonds with other folks. I don't think that's problematic. But it's kind of like if it's like, oh, I broke my leg. Well, I broke my arm and my wrist, right? Like that's not really helpful.
Yeah, that wouldn't be great. Yeah.
And I've definitely experienced that.
Oh, yeah. I guess that would be a way to try to minimize your pain, though. Because I was in a more painful situation, so your pain doesn't mean anything.
That's not helpful.
And then you're like, oh, that's good. Well, you experienced something more painful, so now I can be more calm now. I guess it's like that. Mm-hmm. Here we go, yo. So what's a scenario? It's scenario time, guys. Scenario 1. Onwanuhe told her friend, Yanis, about an experience where a coworker brought up her breast in a conversation.
Wow.
Yanis then told her how she should be happy that the coworker was so enamored with her and be glad to work in such a pleasant place. Is Yanis using toxic positivity against her or giving her old friend good commentary?
That is so offensive. That whole scenario is so offensive. No one wants to have their body parts brought into conversation by other people. Now, if you choose to bring your body parts into your own conversation, that is your doing. But when you're talking and someone's like, nice boobies, right? Like, that's not cool. That's not kosher. And if you tell someone that incident happened and they're like, that's great. I wish that happened to me and it sounds like a great place. I could totally see that. I mean, that probably could possibly arises to the level of toxic positivity. And it's not just like, and it's also just a display of not being a good friend there, right? Hear your friend out. Don't just like dismiss what they're saying to you and actually give a damn, right? Otherwise, why are you friends?
Yeah. I mean, to me, this was the wrong response by Inez. She should have been like, hey, I think this could be an HR issue. This is
definitely
something you just want to put on records because this coworker probably going to go further, right?
Yeah.
Now he knows or I don't know what the person was, but that person knows they got away with like commenting on your body.
Exactly.
Just, it can go further and right now may have been in positive light, but that doesn't really matter, right? It's we're trying to work here. I mean, unless they're sex workers, then this can't work because then that changes this whole thing, though, right?
KJ.
If they were like OnlyFans people, then you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Then it might be a little bit different. So
exactly.
We can't be that. You can't just let this kind of thing go and say, "Oh, it's a great thing that happened." That's not cool. Scenario 2. Nuakocha is quite the pleasant fellow. He never understands why others become mad or enraged. He often walks down the street whistling the latest gospel hit record. Once someone mugged him, and he told the assailant, "Hopefully I have enough to cover your expenses." Is this an example of someone with toxic positivity?
No, that's an example of mental illness, Khalil. That is maybe the funniest thing I've heard in quite a long time. Are you out of your mind? Please put that in a book or something. I hope this covers your expenses.
Yeah.
Are you nuts?
But is that not being really toxic?
But to themselves? I mean, I feel like this person is delusional and they're not really aware of what's happening in the world.
They're concerned about others, though.
I feel like this person is in Alice in Wonderland. That person's not,
okay.
not quite attached to reality. But it's such a good story. Oh, that's a good one. Yes, you're a nut.
I just started, I don't know, this just seems like something that might occur.
You're excited,
with a person
KJ.
who's toxic positively, I guess.
I mean, yeah, but to themselves, that's a whole other level of problems city, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would call this just a person with a problem?
I would say this is a person who's not attached to reality.
Okay, that's what you would call.
That's what I think we've passed. We're in psychotic arenas right now.
Okay, I guess that could be it. I would have guessed that it seems that the person's positive, and I think it's a toxic experience that is caused by the positivity, because it's kind of weird. So I would guess it was toxic positivity, but probably you could define this as this person has another problem. But yeah, that this situation may have occurred. I don't know. That's all I could say. It may actually be a real situation.
That's a real sad. That's
I don't know.
Sadness.
It could be an urban legend, but I don't know.
I hope it really did happen, and I hope that it's discoverable.
Yeah, this may have happened. Something similar may have happened. I don't know, though. I can't say for sure.
Yeah, exactly. KJ feels the same.
Scenario 3. Chanel is an avid practitioner of The Secret. She has sought every form of content surrounding the topic, including WokeNFree's Listenable course, which teaches the practicality of using The Secret.
Hey.
Whenever she brings up manifesting your dreams in front of her sisters, they always laugh at her and say, "Silly rabbit, positivity is for kids." Do you think her sisters are right and Chanel may be overly optimistic?
Silly rabbit, positivity is for kids.
Yeah. This is what toxic positivity people do.
Why are you taking my phrases and turning them against me?
That's not your phrase. Oh, you trying to co-op a phrase that was made by the others?
But I go around and I say, silly rabbit, tricks are for kids.
Hey, that's the original phrase, but you didn't make that up, though.
I know I didn't, but I sang it out.
No, that's the... I've heard the commercial more times than you've said it.
Okay.
You can't say that.
Okay, sir.
You can't say you beat out the commercial times it played. You know how many times that commercial is played? Okay. The youngsters probably don't even... Oh, I don't know if they play that anymore.
Youngsters in 2022.
Okay, what's the new one? The Younglings?
Exactly. The Younglings?
Yeah, the Younglings.
You're such a sick person.
You have to come up with some type of word for them.
KJ's counterparts.
Smart. Well, that's the new... I don't know what his generation's called. I don't know what the 2021's.
God help you.
2021? I don't know. There's a name for them, but I don't even know. I have to look it up.
But I would say that this is, again, actually quite similar to things that we've experienced, where in real life you try to get people to understand the law of attraction and how to use The Secret, and people dismiss you or laugh at you and definitely don't take our course on Listenable. And it's a real mistake, and it's a real missed opportunity. And instead of hearing someone out, they just dismiss it because it's too different or it's too out of the box compared to how they've been living in their sunken reality of nonsense and negativity. And it's like, unless your life is perfect and you don't want to change anything, you should not scoff at anything or anyone, because there's always something to learn and always some way to grow in life. So I would say she's not being overly optimistic. She's trying to educate people on how to live a better life, and people are just too small-minded. They are ... bottom feeders.
Nice. Okay. All right. Co-oping phrases. Yes. That's good. Yeah. No, these sisters, they can't be right in that. Just because you think you're being pragmatic doesn't mean you're right.
Exactly.
You're just stuck in your negative ways because you like receiving negative things. So you can't put that on others. Some other people like to have good things in their life, right? So I don't think she's being overly optimistic either. I think she's actually just practicing what she's learning. So there's nothing wrong with that. If you believe in something and you truly do it, that's good for you. You let the person live, right? Don't try to bring them down from their place just because you say you don't like what you're getting, but you really just want to bring other people into the fold with you. That's what they're trying to do there.
Absolutely. And sadly enough, we are at the end of this episode of our 228th episode of Woke and Free. Quite the episode discussing the odd question of what is toxic positivity. Khalil, what should folks do now?
Make sure to come back next week for the new Woke and Free Wednesday episode.
Yep.
And make sure you follow us on social media to follow along the conversation. And make sure you tune in next week for Woke and Free Wednesday to join the conversation at WokeNFree.com.
Absolutely. And if you want to be a guest on our show, definitely submit a topic on our contact us page at WokeNFree.com. That's WokenFree.com for social media. I'll say it again. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn at WokenFree. And then for sponsorships and collaborations, again, contact us page at WokenFree.com.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do share the episode and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for Woke and Free Wednesdays. Remember, Woke and Free is more than a podcast. It is a way of life. Until next time.